The Philadelphia Phillies are one of the oldest sports franchises in the United States. The Fightin' Phils. There's a lot of history here. Seems like I spent most of my adult life on or around this team. I've been through the hard times and I've seen the glory days. My name is Larry Boa and I'm the manager.
Titans just do not go down.
It's my mission to get you to remember the Fightins.
Clearwater, Florida, one of the most beautiful cities in the country. Spring training home of the Fightin' Phils for over 50 years. This is a place where I'm going to prove I belonged in the big leagues. My name is Jimmy Rollins, and I was a rookie shortstop.
My first goal as a new Phillies manager was to set a different tone in the camp. I saw a lot of talent on the team and let them know right away that there should be a sense of urgency in their play. They were going to learn how to win.
I had gotten a sniff of the big leagues at the end of the last season. I felt I was ready for prime time. Now, all I had to do was prove it to my new manager, who they claimed to be was the greatest shortstop in the history of the team.
I heard good things about you, Jimmy. It was going to be your job to lose. Plus, I kind of liked your style.
Oh, did he crush that ball? That little man has some pop out of here. Home run, Jimmy.
Don't mind that, Jimmy. They used to call me Pee-wee when I first came up. Spring training was a time for me to get to know the players and for them to learn about me. Here comes Mr. Personality. Now give him some good to hit here. Levy? Levy's going to have an awesome year. I'm looking at 25 to 30, Levy. Your bar too high there or what? 25 to 30 with some damage. How many do you think you're going to hit? How many home runs can you hit? Can you hit 20? You got to be able to fall out of bed and hit the 20.
I'll tell you that.
My spring was going pretty good, but I could tell you didn't see the consistency in the team that you were looking for.
And I'm going to watch them, and I've been watching them. I've been watching everything. They don't know I watch. They don't know when I watch them on the backfield. They don't know when I watch them take ground balls. I watch everything that goes on here.
They can't pull one over on you, can they?
No. So we'll try to train them, do it, and if they do it, fine. If they don't, then we'll keep practicing. We just keep practicing, because needless to say, I couldn't wait until the opener against the Marlins.
My first big league opening day, what a thrill. We were all ready and loose. The media was buzzing all around, but since no one was paying me so much attention, I decided to do an interview with myself. So, Jimmy, what is your take on being there for opening day?
Well, I'm excited, very excited. I've accomplished what I wanted to be initially. Hopefully it's a start of a new season. Take my gum out.
Holler.
Holler at what?
Holler, just holler back. Holler back. Let me know something.
I tell you what, being around this kid all year, I've got a whole new vocabulary. It had been almost 15 years since I last sat in the hot seat. Oh, I was confident in my ability to manage and knew I had a great coaching staff. But was I nervous? Hell yeah, I was nervous. Come on, Dougie, start us off. Let's go.
Well hit to left field, out of here. Doug Glanville is giving the Phillies. In the hole, nobody at first. Yes, Dempster gets over there, but can't hold on to the ball. Here comes Roland. He scores. 2 runs are in. Here comes Larry Boa to the mound.
This was one of the hardest games I've ever managed. We were making moves like crazy.
12-man pitching staff, so you can do a little bit of this. Although Boa started a little early today in the 6th inning, he's going to use them up pretty fast.
Certainly not a game where he can sit back and relax, and he's had to make many moves.
Oh, yeah, this one's far from over.
We had a 12-man pitching staff, and it looked like I might have to use them all.
That'll be easy, Larry. Larry Bowa's first game as skipper of the Phillies has a nail-biter here. A one-run lead, 9th inning. Oh, a balk has been called. He was balked in the tying run. That bit of footwork. Balk was called by third base umpire Mike Everett. That will tie the game.
We got the game to extra innings, where our most unlikely offensive weapon took
He
over.
walks him. Amari Telemaco works a walk. Pounding ball in the hole. Let's see if Telemaco's going to try for third. He is, and Amari goes to third, and the Phillies have runners at ground. Oh, what a great grab, Gonzalez. They're going to get one, but they're not going to get the double play, and Telemaco scores a go-ahead run.
And after getting in a jam, Telly tried to finish it off.
Right back at Telemaco. Can he find it in time? Yes, he can. Game over. Phillies win 6-5. Larry Bowa has a W in his first game as skipper of the Fighting Phils.
That was a huge win for us, a major confidence builder that would set the tone for the first part of the season. But if they were all going to be like this, let's just say if fingernails were high in calories, I'd weigh 300 pounds by the All-Star break. If all these games are like this, Greg Gross will be taking over.
The next night, Brian Hunter sent the message by scoring on a sac fly from second, shoes falling off and legs still rolling.
That's what I'm talking about, Jimmy. Let the rest of the league know that we're coming.
And in Game 3, we took advantage of Florida mistakes, then slammed the door. Holla.
I can use the S word. The Phillies sweep the Florida Marlins.
After 7 weeks away from home, we were headed back to the vet for the home opener.
Start for new skipper Larry Bowa.
Jim Bunning threw the first pitch in this ballpark 30 years ago. Now he was a member of the Hall of Fame, and the Phils were retiring his number. It's just too bad the weather didn't cooperate.
Bo, are you in the Hall of Fame yet?
Not even close, J-Ro.
Well, these fans were sure glad to see the old number 10 back.
Who are you calling old?
Getting off to a 3-0 start was pretty sweet.
Deep to right field. Back goes Sosa. It's gone. Long home run, Bobby Abreu.
But I don't think anybody was ready for the month that we're about to put together.
The ball game. A high one back and reaches up.
It started with my forte, defense. There just aren't many holes out there, Jimmy. The outfield is solid, and the infield is excellent.
And it is. Oh, what a great grab by Scott. Rowland throws him out. Base hit, right field, game over. Phillies win 5-4 on the RBI bases loaded single by Marlon Anderson. So the Phils have won it.
There is a base hit to right field. Burrow will score. Marlon being waved around.
We were getting strong contributions from our starting 8.
Marlon Anderson scores. Doug Glanville knocks it down.
And our bench brought a lot of thunder, too.
Well hit to left field. Could it be? It is a grand slam home run. Kevin Jordan.
Over the winter, people criticized GM Ed Way for the way he had assembled the bullpen.
Score of 5-3. Welcome back, Ricky Battalico.
But those guys were getting the job done, day in and day out.
Struck him out to end the ball game.
A new level.
Struck him out with a curveball. And the Phillies hang on to win by a score of 3-2.
And Mike Lieberthal was still flashing that gold glove.
Another great throw by Lieberthal. Great block of the plate by Lieberthal. A throw on the...
Now, I coached Jose Mesa in Seattle the year before and knew he had the heart of a closer.
Tracks it down at
The question was,
struck him out to end the ball game.
did he still have the arm?
Struck him out with a high hard one of the
Question answered.
Now he struck him out with a high hard one. Save number 8 for Jose.
We were 4 games ahead of the pack and surprising everyone in baseball. But before we left for Houston, we got some real bad news.
John Vukovich was not coming with us. Doctors had found a large mass in his brain and scheduled surgery for the next day. Vuk and I have known each other for almost all our lives. Not only is he one of the best baseball men I've ever met, he's also one of my best friends. It was pretty hard to keep our heads in the game that day.
We were all pulling for Vuk, and there was a lot of emotion on the bench. Robert Person gave everybody a little medicine that night.
Boom away, struck him out, first strikeout.
Got him with an off-speed pitch for the second time.
Nice pitch by third strike, struck him out.
Gets it.
A 2-hit shutout for Robert Person. His career best game.
That might have been the best pitch game of the year. To shut out that Houston lineup in that ballpark was just awesome.
This was just totally a gem at a hitter's park, a 2-hit shutout. Robert Person, amazing.
Then we got the great news that Vuki's tumor was benign and the prognosis was excellent.
A few days later, we visited an old friend who had yet to lose a game.
The big game for Curt Schilling, a very emotional game for him, and he's been looking forward for this for a while.
Schill's known for his game preparation.
Well hit to deep left field, and Doug Glanville has put it out of here. Glanville has greeted Curt Schilling with a leadoff home run.
But I guess he lost the book on how to pitch Doug Glanville.
Gonzalez is back. He can't get it out of here. Another home run for Doug Glanville. Can you believe it? The Phillies lead it 2-0.
Take that, Cy.
It was kind of fun beating up on Curt Schilling, but the victory came at a pretty steep price.
It's a real blow to lose a Gold Glove all-star catcher, but like they say, there's no crying in baseball.
Stick around for the next course. Sports Scrapple will be right back.
There's applause. And then there's thunder. There's support. And then there's passion. There are fans. And there are fanatics. Thanks to everyone for your support this season. Fanatical every day.
Never be hungry for Philly sports again. Take a lunch break with Rhea Hughes. Presented by Dietz & Watson. Only on csnphilly.com.
They can be enlightening or engaging. Conversations help us learn and grow. At Wells Fargo, we believe you can never underestimate the power of a conversation. It's this exchange of ideas that helps you move ahead with confidence. So when the conversation turns to your financial goals, turn to us. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
Tuesday, the big day, your chance to make news. Your vote makes news. And on Sunday night, we'll be talking to the people who are definitely involved in this campaign. 4 extras from both sides of the aisle, and Terry Madonna, the pollster. Join us for Voice of Reason, Sunday night.
Hi, this is Larry Boa.
And I'm Jimmy Rollins.
You're watching the 2001 Phillies Video Yearbook. Remember the fightings.
Hey, I'm an entertainer. People pay for this. This is entertainment.
Let me ask you a question. Let me see you entertain me.
I entertain you every day.
I want you to entertain me tonight.
I did what I was supposed to do last night, so now I'm working on it again today. I can't do nothing right now. Not the 7:05.
But you have to sustain it.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I can't do nothing at 7:05 now.
How are you supposed to coach something like this? J-Ro, where did that come from?
Well, you know, you take a good swing at a bad pitch, and you let the physics take over, baby.
No, I don't know. I couldn't hit a ball that far in 3 at-bats. It looked like Steve Klein wasn't that impressed with that blast.
Klein now is screaming at the rookie Jimmy
Hey,
Rollins.
at least I appreciated you coming out the dugout to yell at him.
He overreacted, J-Roll. I think you just embarrassed him. The fact is, you were playing like a 10-year vet. A lot of confidence, a little swagger. I love that.
Well, you got to have some fun out here, Bo, or the game ain't worth playing. And you make it comfortable for me to be myself. And that's why I went with the cornrows, brother.
Hey, anybody that plays like you, I'll let them wear antlers on their head.
Oh, he does. Stepping up to bat, rookie sensation, J-Roll.
And what's this? You have your own rap song?
What's his name? J-Roll was his name. J-Roll.
Yeah, that's right. My cousin, Pepe Tenacious, from back home in Oakland. Yay, yay.
J-Roll. Yeah, J-Roll. Mr. Double backside, ace, 5 and some chains. In the big dude's way, been turning double places back in the days. Ain't nothing new, swinging pitch for the fence. Watch your lips on the first pitch, never sit bench. G a pitch,
Ground ball up the middle, Rollins gets to it. Boy, that kid has played great shortstop.
Ignited cause he's on fire, 20 years from retirement. Can you handle that excitement when he's doubling the gap off a slider? What's his name? Say his name. J-Roll was his name. J-Roll.
Second, they get the double play. Jimmy Rollins.
I also like the way you and Marlon play together. Reminds me of the Keystone combination of the 70s. The only difference is you have more talent than that other shortstop. Now just keep up that level of play for another 15 years, J-Roll, and then we'll talk.
Struck him out. Game over. Phillies win by a score of 3.
Easy, Bo. You're going to blow a fuse.
As the month of May continued, we got hotter and hotter, and Johnny Estrada got thrown right into the fire.
Runner goes, Estrada throws, and out at second base.
I like what I saw of him in spring training, but didn't expect to see him in the big leagues so soon. He handled the challenge pretty well.
Field rolling is being waved around. Emil Brown's throw is blocked.
And on May 24th, we swept the Pirates. The next night, Johnny got something for his trophy case.
Deep right field. There she goes. Home run, Johnny Estrada. His first major league home run. A 3-run shot in the Phillies. And there, that's
going to throw it down the bullpen.
Right.
Okay, let me set the stage. Bottom of the ninth, 2 on, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and Travis leads the batter. Back in the clubhouse, Wayne Gomes was doing some kind of Josephine Baker thing.
Can't say I blame Travis for running away from that. Big Trav. Now it was off to New York. I'll tell you, they must hate to see Pat Burrell come to the plate.
Long drive, could it be? It's out of here. Pat Burrell with his 3rd home run off Benitez, who is glaring at Burrell, and the Phillies take a 5-3 lead.
In his short career, he has just destroyed Met pitching. If he hit everybody else like he hits the Mets, they'd build a wing on Cooperstown just for him.
Long drive, watch that baby, way out of here. A tremendous home run, Pat Burrell.
And if he doesn't beat them big, he beats them small.
Walked in to force in a run, and the Phillies now lead it.
One other thing about Pat, base runners must look out there and see a converted infielder. Too many guys tried to take an extra base on him and paid the price.
Out at home plate. Around Burrow's throw, and he's going to be out by 10 feet. Pat Burrell with his 2nd assist in the inning.
He'll make a big turn and challenge Burrell, and he's going to get him. Pat Burrell gets another assist. These guys keep running on him.
off. Peter on his way to third. Close play out. Another great play by Pat Burrell.
Pat tied for the Major League in outfield assists this year with 18. 18.
The Phillies pounded the Expos here.
On June 1st, we smoked the Expos to take an 8-game lead in the East, 17 games over 500. But if you've been around this game long enough, you know that sooner or later, things are going to stop breaking your way.
Small is, what a brilliant catch.
Things got real ugly real fast.
Inside corner, and he gets rung up again, and he can't believe it.
Pat Sajak's here.
Pat Grieve has hit a slam and broken this game wide open.
I think if Larry Bowen knew that Pat Sajak was here, he'd probably send up a note to him, ask him to turn over a W.
We even got swept by the lowly Devil Rays.
Swept by Tampa Bay and have lost 4 in a row now and hope to get things right back at Veterans Stadium against Cal Ripken in the Baltimore Orioles.
Into deep left field, fair or foul. It's a fair ball, home run, Cal Ripken.
Our 8-game lead was soon cut to 2, but at least we got Vuk back.
John Vukovich back at his post as third base coach for Larry Bowen.
Not even Vuk could help. The Braves came into our house and swept us, knocking us out of first place.
Now he struck him out, and Burrell slams the bat down. It sounded like he broke it.
I knew it was time for our first clubhouse meeting.
Yeah, I figured you were going to air us out, but you were pretty calm.
Tell you what, J-Ro, I just wanted you guys to keep your heads. Remember how we got there the first 2 months. And remember, keep your confidence and don't lose the fire.
Well hit, watch that baby. Way out of here. Tremendous home run, Scott Rowland.
Well, whatever you said, it worked. Because the next night, we started playing like we were possessed.
Theo, it's going to be close. He's out at home plate. And they do. Rowland's on it quickly to second for one. Back to first. It's a double play. The 0-1 to Lee. Grounded to second. This should be the ball game. Anderson to Travis Lee. The Phillies win the first game of this doubleheader.
Looped into right, that'll fall for a hit. Abreu scores, and here comes the wild bull rounding third, and he's safe at home plate. Well hit to left field, and this ball is out of here. Line drive, home run, Bobby Abreu.
Bobby Abreu was in fuego, and our defense was airtight. This was a big series because we were infusing new blood into our pitching staff. David Coggin held off the fish in Game 2.
Back she goes! Home run! Bobby Abreu, he's done it again!
Base hit left field. Estrada scores. Here comes Figueroa, and he scores. And the Phillies lead it 5-1 on a bases-loaded single by Jimmy Rollins.
And Nelson Figueroa put in his bid to join the rotation.
The 5-game series, Nelson Figueroa with his first major league win.
It was a rare 5-game sweep. That was something to get us back on track.
Pretty well hit to deep right field. It's got a chance. It's out of here. Home run by the All-Star in that.
Meanwhile, down in Baltimore, with the game tied in the 10th, Big Trav brought that late inning thunder back to the plate.
Watch this, baby. Out of here. Home run, Travis Lee. And the Phillies have taken a 3-2 lead here in the 10th inning.
Phillies fans have made the trek down to Baltimore this weekend, and it seems like they've had a good time.
It's great to come down here.
And 2 nights later, down by 2, with 2 outs in the 9th and 2 strikes.
Swung on, hit to deep right field. Going back, Richard. Looking up. Say goodbye. 3-run home run, Travis Lee. And the Phillies take the lead. Wow.
You know, the best thing about that series, J-Roll, was all the Philly fans that came down to Camden Yards to cheer us on. We all know what a great atmosphere that ballpark has. And before you know it, we're going to have the same thing here in Philly. In late June, we unveiled our design for our new ballpark, and it looks spectacular. In just 2 years, you'll be playing in this state-of-the-art, open-air, natural grass field.
It looks real sweet, Bo. Any chance they would call it J. Rose Field?
Yeah, about the same chance they could call it Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Stick around for the next course. Sports Scrapple will be right back.
Sunday on It's Your Call, a woman is accused of faking terminal cancer, and her own sister is the one who turned her in. Was this a cry for help or mean-spirited deception? And what's the reaction of the thousands who thought they were helping? Find out Sunday night at 8:30 on the Comcast Network.
We just bought new flooring for the family room. I got carpet for the bedroom free and flooring for the kitchen free. Isn't that something?
It's Empire's Buy One, Get Two free sale. Buy carpet or flooring with installation for one room and get carpet or flooring for 2 rooms free. Plus, get professional installation when you want, even next day. Don't miss Empire's Buy One, Get Two free sale. Call today.
800-588-2300 Today.
I have my ups and downs like a roller coaster ride. With the PTSD, I'm going to have my good days and my bad days. And I really don't like those bad days.
Every hero has a beginning.
I think I can fly.
So watch Heroes from the beginning. Heroes, the complete series. Every Tuesday, 4 episodes in a row. Tuesdays at 8 on G4.
Hi, this is Larry Boa.
And I'm Jimmy Rollins.
You're watching the 2001 Phillies Video Yearbook. Remember the fightings.
But one thing was going good for me so far. A midsummer trip to the All-Star game. Being around a lot of my childhood heroes, man, that was something.
From the Philadelphia Phillies, shortstop Jimmy Rollins.
I wish every Major League Ball player could be a part of something like that.
Take somebody out, dog. I'm going down. I'm going tank. I'm going tank.
And once I got in the game, I had to do my thing.
To the left side, and Rollins shows off that good arm. He has been the most valuable Philly for Larry Boa's bunch. Phillies game in front of the Atlanta Braves. A one-out walk.
If the game went out of hand, you could walk the second on this guy. He's like 1'6". I'm going anyway. Yeah, why not?
Rollins is running. Berkman comes up empty, and Jimmy Rollins steals another.
I don't want to be locked up inside. I'm ready to roll, so baby, let's ride.
I just like to have fun, and maybe that's something, that was been needed, especially around the Philadelphia area. And I go out and play the game where I play it, and Bo, he's right there behind the same way, just out there having fun, clowning, talking about people, because I do it a lot.
They don't pay for that, Lance. Come on, baby.
You were the first Phillies shortstop to go to the All-Star game since, well, you know who went. We were all proud of you. In fact, some guys wanted to emulate you. Gomesy and Marlin went for that J-roll look.
Yeah, I heard rumors that some other guys wanted to try it, but didn't have the nerve.
J-roll, what would my rap name be? Hey, not bad. Do it, Monty. I don't think so, J-roll. Now that's a strong look.
Meanwhile, coming off the All-Star break, the biggest surprise of the season yet was that you hadn't been thrown out of a game.
I've mellowed with age, Jimmy. I don't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I noticed. You've just been chilling. Yeah, at least until July 14th.
This could be it. This might be Larry Bowa's first ejection of the year. He's out of here. Mark it down. July 14th, 2001. Bowa's first ejection of the year. And he's going crazy.
Man, that was a really good show.
You knew it would happen.
The way you write umpires. Sometimes I'd be in the dugout watching the game, and the Jerry Springer show would pop up. Easy, Bo. We got children watching the show.
I know my daughter's seen that act a lot of times. I tell you what, during a game, I get so in the zone that I don't even know I'm doing half that stuff. Holler.
Holler.
Now, I've been around baseball a long time, and I can never recall a more bizarre stretch than the one we're about to go through. The walk-off home run is the most exciting play in baseball, but it stinks when it happens to you. It can also destroy a team's confidence.
This game is over. Mike Piazza out of here. A tremendous home run.
Now, once or twice, well, that's going to happen, but this was getting ridiculous.
Straight games now that ended on home runs in the ninth inning. I mean, it's getting a little old.
Now, I figured with a young ball club, we were in danger of a big collapse, but it didn't seem to bother you guys.
That's right, Bo. Hey, it's just one game. We knew we could come back and win the next day.
Good approach, J-Roll. Good approach. The ball club took a lot of heat for not acquiring a starting pitcher by the trading deadline. But the fact is, you don't always have to make a trade to make a move. Instead of getting an aging veteran who didn't fit in with his ball club, we promoted Brandon Duckworth from AAA.
25-year-old Brandon Duckworth makes his major league debut.
Boy, it's about time. I'm anxious to see this guy. 20 starts down in Scranton in AAA. Led the league in wins with 13.
Now, Brandon may look like he should work in a library, but on the mound, he's a tiger.
And a fastball, he threw it by him. Swing and a miss as Langford strikes. And a foul tip out on 2.
And of course, he was given a warm, quacky Philadelphia greeting.
Swing and a base hit to right field. Brandon Duckworth with his first major league hit in his first big league game.
I believe that's mom and dad. She's happy.
Well, if that is his mom, she should be as happy as she is.
Bills win by a score of 7-3, a successful debut for Brandon Duckworth.
That started us on another roll as the big boys started to flex their muscles.
Deep left center field. It's got a chance. Out of here. Grand slam home run. Travis Lee.
Rolling to deep left field. Back it goes. Home run. Scott Rowland.
Home third strike. Painted the inside corner with a fastball. Struck him out. He's there. Game over. Phillies lead National League East by a game. will send the club on a trip to Milwaukee and St. Louis in excellent frame of mind.
You're watching Sports Scrapple.
North Safe Auto. What is the scariest phrase in the English language? We're out of spray cheese. But to the uninsured driver, it might be this.
Proof of insurance, please.
Chilling, right? But there is a way to avoid this horror show altogether. Call Safe Auto for immediate state minimum coverage. Meanwhile, I'll go tell Officer Scary over there to tone it down a notch. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less.
Xfinity customers watch the Comcast Network in HD now on Channel 856. Saturday, college football is live on the Comcast Network. It's a colonial clash when James Madison hits the field at Alphonse Stadium to challenge Maine. CAA college football, Saturday at 3:30 on the Comcast Network. Sports Scrapple is back with another hot platter of Philly sports moments.
Hi, this is Larry Boa.
And I'm Jimmy Rollins.
You're watching the 2001 Phillies Video Yearbook. Remember the Fightins. By mid-August, I was ready to dub this squad Team Schizophrenia. We'd win 5 in a row, then we'd lose 5 in a row. It wasn't doing my personality any good.
Your personality's fine, Bo, but this stuff could drive you crazy.
Scotty looked like he might have got his hand in there, and Scotty.
Shot at him. Rollins throws him out. It's dropped by Estrada. So this game is totally fallen apart for Larry Boa and the Phillies.
The one guy that added some sanity to the mix was Robert Person.
Got him. Struck him out on a high fastball. So Person has dominated Bagwell.
Time and time again, he would stop losing streaks. He's always had dominating stuff. This year, he really learned how to harness it.
Fastball swinging a miss, and Robert Person strikes.
Yeah, and he learned to help himself with the bat, too.
Uh-oh, there's another one. Robert Person has hit his second home run, and that's a long one. Way out by Person. And the Phillies lead this one 4-1.
Have you ever considered letting him pinch hit?
Well, you never know.
Here's the ball. Oh, sweet. You definitely deserve that. You get the hell out of that. Thanks. Caught it? Yeah, I caught it.
It's always good to see the fans get a little reward for their efforts.
Thank you very much. Very nice. It's the home run hitting Robert Person's bat. Thanks a lot, dude.
Hopefully I get some more. We'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, be back out there and catch another one.
I'll be here all the time, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Now, all summer long, the Phils and the Braves were battling for first. But by the end of August, the amazing Mets had come off the mat to make a run at us. We needed to win one at Shea to keep them at bay. Okay, J-Roll, it's showtime.
Diamond's pitching. Oh, a long drive. This might be out of here. It is out of here. Home run, Jimmy Rollins. Number 11 for Rollins, and the Phillies take a 7-6 lead here in the 11th inning.
He's another prime timer. He likes it up here.
I see you, J-Roll.
All up the middle. What a grab. Jimmy Rollins ends the game with a backhand flip to Marlon Anderson.
Then there was that momentum thing again. The Mets kept right on our tail. They came into Philly the next week and beat us up pretty good.
Oh, he caught it somehow. Oh, he did. And it bounces away. And in the hole, nice play. Jordan throws it away. Wow.
All you little leaguers out there, close your eyes.
Look at this.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Coming in to score is Seal. I have never seen all year long the Phillies play this sloppily.
It was one of the worst losses I have ever seen.
Yeah, now that one was embarrassing.
I thought for sure we were finished after that. but you guys really amazed me. We were counted out so many times this year and got right back up. I should have known what was coming.
Bouncing ball to shortstop might be the ball game, and it is. Jimmy Rollins to Travis Lee. Bills win on a combined shutout.
After a stint in the bullpen, Randy Wolf really started to pick it up.
Struck him out. Randy Wolf has his first major league shutout. A 6-hitter, struck out 5. What a job he did tonight.
Bobby hits it hard to right center field. It's got extra bases written all over it. Abreu into second with a stand-up double as he knocks in his 100th run of the year.
We went up to Montreal and took 3 out of 4 from a pretty loose Expos club. We were 3.5 games behind the Braves and would play them 7 more times.
The Phillies won by a score of 12-4 and head for Atlanta.
We left Montreal and headed for Atlanta feeling pretty good about ourselves.
Then the whole world turned upside down.
My brother called me in the morning and told me to wake up. He said, you know, the plane's flying into the World Trade Center. And, you know, first I'm waking up, it didn't really hit me. And then I turned on the news and it was on CNN and, you know, MSNBC and everything else. And it was like a bad dream or a really bad movie where you just didn't think it was real.
You know, here we are in a tall building in Atlanta, and knowing that's one of the big cities in the United States. And hearing all the information coming out that maybe Atlanta is a target, maybe a sporting event is a target. You know, what other sporting event is in Atlanta besides the Braves and Phillies game?
It was a day filled with, I think, a lot of fear and a lot of confusion, and just sitting back and just finding myself really enthralled in the television and not able to leave it, hardly even just to get a cup of coffee.
I think for the most part, everyone just watched TV, you know, and just tried to figure out what exactly had just happened. Is it over? You know, do you know anyone that may have been involved? You know, is your family okay? Everything.
And then we heard reports about, you know, other attacks maybe, and we're in a high rise, like I said. And they said Atlanta was on the map too to be targeted, and I'm like, we got to get out of this hotel, you know. So I got my family out, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, I'm just shaking up.
You know, you always want to remember the great things about, you know, your debut and, you know, your first season in the big leagues, but I mean, this just, that's what we're going to remember for the rest of our lives.
I think it really hit me maybe a day or two later when they started showing people looking for their families and, you know, people missing, and you could see their emotions, and it's really happening, and, you know, and it got to me, not kind of, it did.
With the emotional state of the country in turmoil, baseball decided to postpone a week of games. The Phillies and Braves would be the first game back after the tragedy.
None of us knew what to expect that night, but we all felt baseball would be an important part of the healing.
To get back on the field, and if we go out there and we play baseball and we turn some heads and make some people smile, you know, and all this, I think it's well worth it, and I think there's always a time for a smile.
You know, the summer is baseball. It always has been in America, and you know, without it, I think people had a void, and you know, we're here to fill that void now and really like boost morale.
And baseball has always set the tone for how America should behave in terms of embracing the diversity that we have in this country, and you know, people love the game, and as well they should, because of what it provides in that way. So you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this could be a major part of the healing process for the country and people able to get together again.
From the cradle of liberty, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Do we have closure? No. No, the heinous acts of terrorism last Tuesday will be with us for as long as we all shall live. Here at Veterans Stadium, we see various displays of nationalism and patriotism. Yes, baseball will go on. It won't be the same. It'll be a long time before it's the same. But sports has always been a diversion from our everyday problems, and in this case, from a national tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers and our hearts go out to the families and to the friends of the victims of the tragedy of September 11th, 2001. The color guard is now coming on the field. We see waves of people here at Veterans Stadium standing united, regardless of race, color, religion, or creed. We're all together as members of the United States of America. You can hear in the background chants of USA. Yes, America perhaps now will become more united than ever before, and probably now we won't need it more than any time that I can ever recall.
The emotion was thick that night, and all of us knew we were part of something special.
I was all choked up, you know. Harry had a great presentation ceremony. We had, you know, the fans showed all their patriotism.
The crowd started chanting USA, USA, and then when they announced the teams and the crowd just started cheering, I mean, it was like, I've never had a feeling like that. I mean, really, it was one of those, it was beyond goosebumps.
This is something that could help us come out of this thing. This is something that can bring joy to people in different ways, and hopefully that, you know, just make people happy, even if it's only for 2.5, 3 hours. Well hit to left center field. It's got a chance. It's out of here. Home run, Scott Rowland, number 21. Struck him out for the third time. Andrew Jones is out of there.
Everybody around here and in this country needed something to take your mind off what's been going on. And this ball game is going a long way to helping that tonight, Harry.
We've seen signs of patriotism here all night. It's been an emotional and quite a night here at Veterans Stadium. An extremely well-played baseball game.
Here he comes. Yeah. Attaboy. You're right, Andy. Of all the nights, this is the night to do that.
It was a huge night for Scotty, the Phillies franchise, and the whole city. I've been around for a lot of great nights at Veterans Stadium, and that was one of the best.
Yeah, Bo, I was honored to be a part of it, and the fans must have felt it too, because there was a similar feeling the next night.
That was when we unveiled our secret weapon, the rally towel. The atmosphere was electric. We all wanted to ride the wave.
Swings away. Rollins is on it quickly. He'll get it out there.
Wow. Big swing and a long drive. Watch this, baby. Way out of here. Tremendous center field home run, Pat Burrell. He launched that ball, and this place is a sea of white rally towels. Struck him out. Game over. Bills are a half game behind in National League East. Jose Mesa with his 38th save.
We were on a roll now. Who would have thought this spring that we would be a half a game out on September 19th.
We did.
I like Jimmy's line last night. He said, coming back to the dugout, a couple ladies behind the dugout held us up a sign that said, believe, and he says, you believe, we already do.
Yeah. One fan even carried the American flag all around the stadium, non-stop for the whole homestand.
There is Jim Minacci, the flag man, carrying that flag around proudly and doing a great job. Back up there in the upper deck now. Proud America.
Rally towels, American flags, the fans were so into it. And you don't know what a big difference that makes when you're down on the field.
Bouncing ball up the middle, game over. Anderson scores. Phillies win by a score of 1-0 on the pitch hit single by Brian Hunter. So the Phillies now are 7-0 against the Marlins in one-run games and 12-2 on the year. And Wade is happy as the Phillies will scoreboard watch now and see what happens at Shea, but Brian delivers.
September 23rd was Fan Appreciation Day. Longtime broadcaster Andy Musser was calling his final Phillies home game. What a pro.
And then it was your turn to talk to the people.
All I can tell you is that we're going into the end of September and we're still fighting and we're scrapping and we're clawing. And I'd like to thank you for your support this year. We are for real and we're going to be here for a while. It's nice to feel the passion back in the stadium. Thanks again for your support and I really appreciate it. It was a beautiful autumn day for baseball, and Brandon Duckworth was dealing.
Strike on the inside corner.
And the pitch to Travis. Swing and a long drive. Watch this baby way out of here. Tremendous home run, Travis Lee. And the Phillies take a 3-2 lead here in the fourth inning. 17th home run of the year for Lee. He's now knocked in 84.
We took a lead into the eighth, but just couldn't hold it.
Oh, now Larry Perry's going to be ejected.
It's a little tense there.
Man, Bo, you just can't leave those umpires alone, can you?
Save it, Jimmy.
The ball is really incensed, and you don't want the skipper getting any kind of suspension. Just go ahead and head back to the clubhouse.
Well, it didn't look very good for the Fightins. And then Big Trav waves that magic 2-0 bat one more time.
Well hit. It might tie the game. It is out of here. Game-tying home run. Travis Lee. What a big blow, and that wakes up this Fan Appreciation Day crowd and electrifies the house.
Then, the first pitch of the bottom of the 10th.
A drive to right field, way back. It is gone. Johnny Estrada wins the game for the Phillies. A leadoff homer in the 10th inning, and the Phillies have defeated Florida 5-4.
How about that? Wow.
And that's a pretty good way for Andy Musser to bow out. In April we're drinking milk. Now we're drinking beer. We sure came a long way this year, and I wish I could tell you it all had a happy ending. We stayed in it to the last weekend, but just fell a little short.
Yeah, but we're riding some serious momentum going into the next season.
I think so, J-Roll. You have to like our starting eight. Doug Glanville had a solid year in center.
Home run, Doug Glanville.
And Pat Burrell is just starting to find himself as a big league slugger.
To left field. Back she goes. It is.
Yeah, he's on the verge of being real scary. And my man Marlon really turned in a great year, getting a ton of clutch hits and really flashing his glove. Little Roberto Alomar-esque.
He also led the team in batting average versus lefties with a .327 average. You two guys really complimented each other out there, and Travis Lee kept coming up with huge late-inning home runs, not to mention playing a Gold Glove type first base.
And what about the pitching, dog? Robert Person stepped up whenever we needed a big win.
And Randy Wolf, he really came up strong at the end. I look for big things from him next year.
Wolf, a one-hit complete game shutout.
And what about all the young guys? Duckworth proved he belongs to be up here. And then you got Figueroa and Coggin to throw in the mix.
Yeah, and Mike Arbuckle's got a lot more young arms waiting in the wings. In my 30-some years around here, I don't ever remember the minors so deep in pitching.
And how about the bearded villain, Jose Mesa?
You know, J-Roll, if I were to pick an MVP on the team, you'd be a pretty strong candidate. But I think I have to give it to Jose. He came out of nowhere to be one of the dominant closers in the National League. And while I know they took their lumps, I still like my veteran setup guys.
Breaking ball struck.
And despite all those walk-off home runs, our bullpen gave up the fewest homers in the league. I'll go to battle with them anytime. And speaking of battles, I think this was the year that Scott Rowland became the player we all knew he could be. His Gold Glove at third is unmatched by anybody in baseball, and unlike the previous 2 seasons, which were cut short by injuries, Scotty finished strong, carrying the club down the stretch and quietly becoming the leader we need him to be.
And then you have that other guy, Bobby Abreu. Man, this dude can play. He definitely had his most productive year at the plate.
Way out of here.
He drove in over 100 runs and became the first Phillies 30-30 guy.
30 or more homers, 30 or more stolen bases.
I just love watching Bobby do his thing.
You know, Jimmy, for me, the key to next season is going to be behind the dish. Johnny Estrada did a great job for us this year. He basically had to get on-the-job training for the hardest position in professional sports and do so in the middle of a pennant race. But it's hard to replace a Gold Glove all-star catcher like Mike Lieberthal. If Levy had been able to put up his normal offensive numbers, our season might have gone much farther. His presence in the lineup could really make a difference next year.
Yeah, Bo, things are really looking good. We led the league in stolen bases for the first time since 1886.
No thanks to you, who led the league in stolen bases and triples and broke my old Phillies record for stolen bases by a shortstop.
Well, homie, I had to do it. We also had the fewest errors of any team in Phillies history with 96.
I love our team speed and I love our defense. We improved our record by 21 games, and I think the Mets and Braves know we're for real.
When the Titans take the field, it's bye-bye, baby.
We have a good mix of veterans and youth and a much better sense of what it takes to win and get to the postseason.
And I'm sure you're going to be keeping a whip to us next year.
You better believe it, Jimmy, but we're still going to have some fun. One more thing. You got to promise me I'm going to see a lot more of the J-Roll show next season.
Please believe that, you underdig. And you keep putting on a show for us and the Empires.
Well, you can believe that, Jimmy.
We're going to have some fun next year.
I just wish it was starting tomorrow.
It's a new day. It's a good time for a getaway.